And Henry, if you do the honours for me.
Hello there. How you doing? Welcome to Nerd Humour.
Hello.
I'm Henry.
I'm Sam.
And today we're talking about what is, in my own humble opinion, the greatest comic book of all time, The Killing Joke. Alan
good.
Moore. Alan Moore, Brian Bollard. There you go. It's pretty good.
From a guy that doesn't read that many comic books.
We've been Nerd Humour. Thank you very much for your time.
Bye. No.
Right, okay.
Let's talking about this right now.
So, Batman, The Killing Joke.
You can get this. You talk. I'll position. I'll position. You talk.
The definitive, if you ask me, Joker story when it comes to any kind of Batman story. This is the best one that you're ever going to read. It is, without a shadow of a doubt for me, my favourite comic book story of all time. A very short story. It's not a very long story at all, and it's also a very simple idea, but it's just perfect. I mean, for me, as I said, best one of all time. You read it, I believe, yesterday.
I did read it yesterday. Yeah.
What do you think?
What I've got to compare it to. Okay. So, drawing wise and art wise, that's what was the first thing I look at.
Brian Bond.
Yeah, and the only thing I can really compare it to is stuff, concept art, because I don't read that many comics. So in terms of this, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it looks
coloured,
fantastic. God, you can say that again.
Yeah, the drawers.
I will say this: this is the deluxe version. I prefer the original version. The colours were just slightly better, but very, very small things to nitpick. I guess we've got to talk about the plot of this.
Okay, yes.
The actual story.
Should I run through it?
What happens?
You run through it. You got a better sense than I do. Probably read it many more times than I have. So yeah,
it's a very simple idea for a comic book. What
I will just sit there and nod. By the way, just to let you know.
It's a very simple idea for a story. Batman goes to see Joker in Arkham Asylum to find out that he's broken out of jail. And his intention is to prove, it says on the back here, one bad day. His intention is to prove that all you need is one bad day to go absolutely insane. And his puppet, his image for this is Gordon. He's going to drive Gordon insane. And the way that he does that is, spoiler alert, big spoiler alert, he shoots Barbara Gordon, his daughter, in the stomach and breaks her spine. And cripples her basically. And he kidnaps Gordon, puts him through I guess it's like a fairground sort of psychological mad ride with pictures of his daughter. Like
that's messed up.
Yeah,
that was messed up.
Yeah, it does say on the back. It does say on the back here, suggested for mature readers. This is not for kids. This is dark. This is dark stuff you're seeing.
Yeah.
And basically, Batman goes to find the Joker in an attempt to stop him from driving Gordon absolutely insane. Interwoven with this story is the story of why Joker is the way he is. You never find out what his name is.
Brilliant.
You never find out what his name is, but you see how the man that he is becomes the Joker. He's a not very good stand-up comedian, and
he's just come out of a job in engineering and chemical.
That's right. I
did learn stuff. I learned stuff from reading this book.
Yeah. See that? He's learning. Good on him.
Carry on anyway,
And he gets given a job to do by the mob. And it's basically to rob a chemical factory, I believe it is. But he's got to wear a red hood, which is a nod to the character Red Hood. And it's a fit-up, basically. Batman turns up to stop them. He falls from a walkway into a vat of chemicals, comes out, pulls the red mask off.
Not a vat, it's a river, isn't it?
No. He falls. The plumbing takes him.
Oh, right.
He falls into a vat of chemicals, and then through the plumbing, he ends up in the river.
Okay.
Right. And when he takes off the mask, he sees his image. That classic look of with his hands in his hair.
Hair's gone green.
His hair's gone green. His lips have gone red, and he's lost his mind. He's gone absolutely mad. The Joker is born.
But you would if you just found out that your wife been
that's another thing as well. Yeah, the wife.
How did she die?
It's a natural thing. It just happens. It's an accident. His wife dies from an electric shock, holding his pregnant. His pregnant wife. Sorry. Dies from an electric shock. That combined with the physical, alteration of his face, he's mad. He goes absolutely nuts.
And the stress of everything.
And it's just
breakdown.
Yeah. But then, through the story, you actually find out that might not have been how it happened. It does have, let me find it, the greatest line Joker ever says is when he's talking about why Batman becomes the man he is. Here it is.
Yeah.
He says...
I just say I very much enjoy this because it just just to keep the enigma alive.
Yeah.
Of the Joker's origins.
Also, it calls back to...
It's done so much in the films, it's done so much in all the
It calls back to... The quote on the front here from Tim Burton is, I love The Killing Joke, it's my favourite, it's the first comic I've ever loved. You can see his love for this in the Batman film, where Jack Nicholson's Joker falls from the walkway into the chemicals and his face is all messed up. Then you also see it with the Heath Ledger thing. Like the line here, let me read this to you. Something like that happened to me, you know. I'm not exactly sure what it was. Sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes it's another. If I do have a past, I prefer it to be a multiple choice. And that calls back to the Heath Ledger thing, where he's got the knife to that guy's face, and he says, my dad was a drinker and he was a fiend and he cut my face. And then he goes to Rachel and he says, I had a wife who was attacked by the mob, so I cut my face to make it seem like it was okay. You don't know what this guy's past is. Even he doesn't know what his past is.
Creating that enigma is...
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
if he does, it's a great line. If he does have a past, he'd prefer it to be a multiple choice. He's so mad now, he doesn't even know who he is anymore. Genius. It's just utter and complete genius. To go to the end of the story, what happens at the end, he doesn't succeed in driving Gordon crazy.
No. Yeah, it was...
Batman gets there in time.
Quite interesting. Yeah, that's quite a psychological thing I found quite interesting as well. Like at the end, so... yeah, he was... So he had him tied up naked, decked and bound with like these weird clown dwarf...
Another thing I want to know what your opinion is. This is hinted. I don't know if he actually does it or not.
Yeah.
Does he rape Barbara?
Does the Joker rape Barbara? I mean, the way it's suggested,
there's pictures
he
of
does
her...
at least something to her.
Yeah,
but I think it might just be the pictures and the fact she's in so much pain.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. Because that's always been hinted. I don't know. Maybe he did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always been hinted at. But the very end of the story, the very last thing that you see is Batman...
Oh yeah, can you explain this to me? Because I read it and I was thinking...
Right, here you go.
Are they... Well, I'll explain.
Okay, right. Okay, here you go. I'll explain it. Okay, the very last thing you see in the story is Batman talking to Joker and saying to him, I don't want to kill you. Give me this chance. You don't have to be alone. Let me rehabilitate you. There's doctors out there. We can save you. And Joker, in probably the most human moment of his entire life, just says, no, I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm beyond that now. Then, of course, as Joker does, he starts laughing and he says... This reminds me of a joke, and I'm just going to read what the full joke is because you're going to need to read this.
Yeah, once you read the joke, this is something what Henry was talking about. I didn't like the morality and the humanisation that it gave them. I mean, as a person, I like the Joker just to be a completely melodramatic nutball.
He is melodramatic.
I mean, I did obviously like the bit where he was crying and sad and stuff, but I think that should have just been left to the
when is he crying and sad?
When he's trying to feed for his wife and shit.
Yeah, but that's when he's not the Joker. That's when he's
I know. But that should be the only point where he's weak. I think being the Joker gives him his strength, and showing this. I mean, obviously, it shows he's been defeated. But like, I think. I still wouldn't have wanted to have seen that.
Another great line is when Joker fires the gun at him and it's a false gun. And he says, "All right, fine, just beat me up, throw me back in the asylum. Let's do it all over again. Let's make the joke go on a little bit longer." And Batman says no, because right at the beginning. I think it's Batman says. Batman says right at the beginning of the story. Now the very first thing is one of us is almost certainly going to kill the other one, and this is the final moment in the story. Let me read you the joke. I'm just going to read you the whole thing. There were two guys in a lunatic asylum, and one night they decide they don't like living in an asylum anymore, so they're going to escape. So they get up onto the roof, and across they see rooftops stretching to the city. The first guy jumps right across, no problem, but his friend daren't make the leap because he's afraid of falling. So the first guy has an idea. He says, I have my flashlight with me, I'll shine it across the gap between the buildings and you can walk across the beam and join me. But the second guy shakes his head and says, what do you think I am, crazy? You just turned the light off when I was halfway across. Then Joker starts laughing. He starts laughing maniacally. As he does, Batman also starts laughing. He smiles.
That is,
Then he starts to grin. Then they share a laugh with each other. Batman picks the Joker up. Laughter, 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 stops. The laughter stops. And I will tell you what that means.
Yeah, please do.
Right, here it is. The Joker and Batman are the two guys in the lunatic asylum. Okay? The joke is about those two. Batman jumps across into the city to freedom, to sanity, to normality. He's normal. The Joker is at the top of the asylum and he's afraid. He doesn't want to jump into society. He doesn't want to be normal. So Batman says, join me across, leave the madness behind and join me. And Joker says, no, you don't want me to be normal. You don't want me to be. You just kill me halfway across. And that is what happens at the end. Batman kills the Joker. I am telling you, this is what happens. The Joker.
So that's like they both die then as well.
The Joker starts laughing.
Yeah.
And Batman finally gets the joke. He finally gets it. What have I been doing all these years? This is ridiculous. There was no way he was ever going to be saved. So he starts laughing with him. He picks the Joker up, and he breaks his neck. Think about it, right? Let me show you the. Let me show you.
We can just show them in there.
Oh yeah, of course we can. Yeah. But let me show you the final few pages. Right, here it is. Okay, so Batman picks up the Joker.
Yep.
He starts laughing. They're still laughing there. That's them there. Still laughing. That's the light. Okay? That is the beam. That is the flashlight.
Oh,
the laughter stopped.
Yes, yeah.
The laughter stopped. The flashlight's been turned off. Joker's dead.
That makes sense now. Yeah.
So that's how.
I'm with you. I'm on the page.
That is how the Killing Joke ends. Joker's dead.
We're all good. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Batman has finally
I thought
done.
Like escaped together.
No, certainly not.
They eloped together.
No, Batman killed him.
Okay, cool. I'm with you now.
And also, something that my cousin told me is Batman kills him and gives up the mask and the mask and the cape. He hands himself in to Gordon because Gordon says to him, "Do it by the book," and he's like, "No, I've had enough." Steps up, takes off the mask and cape, holds up his hands. He's then put in jail. Batman is arrested. Yeah, he killed someone. He killed Joker. That is a crime. Doesn't matter what anyone says.
Yeah. Speaking of crime, at the end, I love that epilogue.
Yes.
Just standard guy just talking about how he would kill Batman.
Brilliant.
That's
Again,
fantastically done. Yeah,
I love that.
Who's that? That guy's just he represents the average man, obviously. But is he meant to look like anyone specific, or is he just?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think
some people were saying, is that meant to be the director or something like that? But I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
I don't think so. But again, yeah, you are right.
I love that. Was beautifully creepy and messed up.
And I will just say the one last thing I will say before we wrap up here: if you're thinking of seeing the Killing Joke film, I have one word: don't.
I haven't seen it, and so I'm probably not going to.
I cannot emphasise enough, do not go and see that film. I tried with every fibre of my body to convince myself it was good, and it wasn't. It just wasn't a good film.
It's a shame, considering Mark Hamill was doing the voices.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not terrible, okay? I think I'll do a mini review. I'll do a very mini review of it.
Give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, basically. Kevin Conroy plays Batman and Mark Hamill plays the Joker, the original voices from the animated series. Everything with the Killing Joke, good. Good stuff. I mean, it's virtually the comic on screen. There's not really much changed, if I'm being honest. But the opening sequence, which goes on for about 26 minutes of Barbara, where you see her as Batgirl with Batman, pointless. I mean, absolutely fucking pointless to watch. Just useless.
Right. I won't be watching that then. Unless I watch it and I just skip the first 26 minutes.
And also, they mess up the ending as well with the flashlight, where he picks up Joker. You don't see any of that.
Oh.
You don't see any of the. You don't see the bit where he's telling the joke and you see him look out to the city where he's talking about the rooftops.
That could be Mark Hamill's flipping epitaph of apex of acting.
It could have been, and it just isn't. It's just not there.
The best monologue he ever did.
I tell you now, if you're thinking about it, don't see the film. Do not see The Killing Joke. It's not worth it. Read the comic. Alan Moore was right. For once in his life, well, no, if you ask me, he's a bit of a... Alan Moore very, very, openly hates comic book adaptations of his films. For example, Watchmen, V for Vendetta, he's never seen them, he never will see them, he hates them. But this one... I love Watchmen. Look, if you want to stay by that, fair enough to you, Mr. Moore. Stick with what you believe in. But with this one, Alan, you were right. It should not have been made into a... Actually,
it shouldn't have been made like that.
It shouldn't have been made like that. That's the annoying thing. It could have been done well. Animated, perfect. It needs to be animated.
And it's so easy to make an animated thing as well. So you kind of think to yourself, if I haven't seen it,
that's the
what
thing.
went wrong from my point of view?
You had everything. You had the tools.
Had all you needed.
You had Kevin Conroy. You had Mark Hamill.
And
why is it so bad? Still, you messed it up. You were handed it on a plate.
One job.
And literally,
one job.
Mr. I don't know. It's I think the guy who directed it is a Chinese director. You had one job. You had everything put in front of you, and you messed it up. Shame on you. Anyway. Shame on you.
I just want to, in conclusion to this whole thing, it's definitely opened my eyes to reading more comic books and graphic novels like this in itself.
Which I think we can say now is going to be a new feature on the channel. We're going to be reviewing more graphic novels. Any suggestions for graphic novels you would like us to review?
Yes, that is such
something which you'd like us to read and do a review on? Comment below, let us know. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Anyway, as usual, like,
That's
comment,
pretty much
subscribe, and we'll see you on the next
Like,
guys.
comment, subscribe, share. Peace out.